Hello chess friends, welcome back to our favorite chess channel, SPD Lord Chess, and I'm still your favorite host, SPD here, bringing you another tutorial of the game of chess. Thank you and stay blessed as you watch. Please remember to subscribe to our channel so that we can bring you more videos and also keep you updated on how the game of chess is played. And also click on the notifications icon so you'll be notified whenever we upload any new videos. In this video, we will be covering the bishop. This is the bishop. Okay? So we'll be seeing how the bishop moves in this video. Alright? I fondly call the bishop the sniper or the silent killer. Alright, we are going to see why I nicknamed this bishop. Alright, in our previous videos we've seen how to arrange the chessboard from the beginning, how to place each of the chess pieces where they belong, and we've seen how the pawns, the foot soldiers, how they move. We've also seen how the knight moves. Alright? So we are going to proceed to learn how the bishop is used, how the bishop moves, okay? Alright, let's get down with it. This is our chessboard, which is already arranged, properly and well arranged. Okay? So we are going to go straight forward to see how the bishop moves. Alright, so this is the bishop for the white nation. This is the bishop right here. This is the bishop. You see the bishop? This is the bishop here. Can you see the mark? This is the bishop. The bishop has a mark right here. That is how to identify the bishop. Alright? They are two in number. This is one bishop and this is the second bishop. These are the two bishops. The bishops occupy the third position from the edge. The third positions. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright? So these are the positions for the bishops, and these are the two bishops, okay, for the white nation. Now, the movement for the bishop is quite easy. If you've mastered the movement for the knight and the movement for the pawn, then the movement for the bishop is going to be a very easy one to understand. The bishop is not like the knight that can jump over obstacle, that can get out into the battlefield without a space being made for it to come out. Alright? The bishop needs an opening before it can get out. Okay? Now, the bishop moves diagonally. For example, if the bishop is right here, alright, if this bishop was here initially, diagonal movement is like an X shape, X, like this, an X shape. Diagonal movement is, okay, let me just use some of the piece here to make a diagonal line. Alright, this is a diagonal line. Can you see this line? This is a diagonal line, okay? This is also a diagonal line. We can also have a diagonal line from here. This is a diagonal line. Can you see these? So these are examples of diagonal lines. This and this. Can you see that? So this is how the bishop moves. The bishop moves in diagonal line, diagonally. Its movement is diagonally. The bishop can move as many squares as possible. the bishop can move from the beginning of the square, straight through the same line to the last end of the square. Okay, the bishop can move as long as possible. The bishop can move as long as possible, and the bishop can move forward and backward. The bishop can move. The bishop was here. It will move. It can move forward. It can move forward, and it can also move backward. Can you see this? If the bishop was here, it can move forward, and it can move backward again. Alright? Now, we should also note that the bishop's movement is restricted to a particular color. Okay? From the beginning of the arrangement of this board, you would observe, okay, let's rearrange the board again. Okay, these are the pawns. Let me rearrange everything again. This bishop was here, and this one was here. Alright, so this is how the board was initially. Can you take a look? Now you observe that this bishop, this white bishop, is on a white square, right? And the second bishop is on a black square, right? Yes. So this bishop will continue to move on black squares until it dies, and this bishop will continue to move on white squares until it dies. That is a very important point to note. For example, if this bishop wants to get out into the field, wants to come out, alright, it will pass through only the white squares also. For example, for this bishop to come out this way, there must be space here. Let's assume that this pawn is not here, so the bishop can pass through this place like this. Look at the bishop, it is on white square, it will pass through the white squares. Can you see this? It can also stop here. It depends on the player, the user of the bishop. Alright, so if this bishop that is on the white square, if it wants to come out, it can get out through this same white square. Okay, now this is a diagonal movement. If it stops here, it cannot go horizontal and vertically. No, it's not possible. The bishop doesn't move vertically. The bishop doesn't move horizontally. The bishop's movement is only diagonal movement. Diagonal movement. Diagonal movement. Please take note. The bishop's movement is only diagonal movement. The bishop movement is only diagonal movement, and it moves only in its particular color. This bishop is on white square, so it will move only in white squares. The bishop can move as far as possible. It can cover as much ground, as much squares as it can in its way. Can you see? The bishop can move as far as possible, so far there are no obstacles in its way that will kill it. The bishop can move as far as possible, forward and also backward. Can you see this backward movement? It can go back and even go back to its initial position. Alright, so this is for this bishop. Now look at this. It can also get out through this way. You see, if I want to get out through this way, I will make an opening for this bishop right here. I'll make an opening through this point. If I want it to get out through this way, I'll make an opening here. Okay, I'll open this. Alright, you can see it is out. It is out. It came out through the same white spot. Okay, this bishop making an opening right here will not allow this bishop out. No, the bishop does not move horizontally. or vertically. Can you see? The bishop cannot get out through this way. The bishop's movement is only vertically. It must get out either through this way or through this way. Can you see this? Alright. Okay. So the same thing happens for this other bishop right here. This bishop now is in black square. Okay. You can see it's in black square. Alright. So for this bishop to get out, there must be space. You must make a space for it, either through this point or through this point. Can you see? I've made an opening for this bishop, so I can get out this way, this way, this way, then this way, this way, this way. Can you see? Because it's a bishop on black square initially, it will continue to be on black squares. Can you see that? It's going to be on black squares until it dies. It will never enter a white square. It will continue to be on black square, and the other bishop will continue to be on white square. So the two bishops on each side of the game will always be on different squares. Can you see it for the black nation? This is the bishop right here. This bishop is on black square. Can you see it? It's on black square. And this other bishop is on white square. So this bishop, let me make a space for it to come out. It can come out through this way. Can you see this? It will come out through the white square like this. It can move as long as possible, even 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. In fact, as long as possible. You can move your bishop as long as possible, as long as you want, but it must be only on diagonal path. Okay, it must be only on diagonal path, and it must not change color. It must not change the color where it was initially. This bishop came out from this white spot. Can you see the white spot here? So it will maintain this white spot until it dies. Alright? Okay. This will be all for the movement of the bishop. You will see that the bishop's movement is quite easy, very easy to understand. Okay, so if you are confused about the movement of the bishops, simply know that the bishop's movement is like an X, just like this. So something like this. It can move this way, or it can move this way. This is an X, right? This is an X. So this is how you can see that. This is how you can just take this as the path through which the bishop moves. Okay, the bishop moves like an X, diagonally this way, diagonally this way. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this video, and please remember to subscribe to our channel. This is SPD Lord Chess, and I'm your favorite host, SPD, bringing you this tutorial live and direct. Please watch and subscribe. God bless you.